Sitaram, everybody. That's it. Tonight, we continue where we left off. When you were coming in, I hope you got a copy of the little pamphlet. The Devi for today is Brahmachari, Brahmacharini. And that entire form, the little discourse, is given in that pamphlet, in that leaflet. Please have it before you go. Tonight, we're going to hear a little bit about the history of Devi, to continue to understand how powerful this lady is, this Shakti, to learn a very important mantra that could be beneficial to you and I, and then to understand a little bit about Devi Yagna. Narad Muni asked a question: who was the first person to do Devi worship? Who did this Yagna first? Is it that when everybody prays, the result is the same? Have you ever done prayer, havan, fasting, whatever it is? Pray. But you're still waiting for the benefit. You're still waiting for some change to happen in your life. Tonight, Narad Muni is asking these said questions. This is our discourse this evening. Why it is? It serves to answer the question. Why it is when maybe one neighbor is praying and the Baba goes right across the road, same ingredients, same flag, same prasad, everything, nothing else changes except for the person, but one person yields great reward and the other person is holding their breath, waiting one day, something will happen. There'll be a breakthrough. There'll be a moment where I'll see change in my life. This question has never been asked before this moment. Because the Devi Yagna is that prayer, as it will be explained, that could bring change in the most difficult situation. In the most, let's say when things are the most hopeless, most grim, the example is to go to Mother. Last night when we paused, Brahma is learning about Mother. And he is so happy, he is enjoying himself. But when that moment came now, and there's just one verse I want to read before we leave that part. When the moment came now, because sometimes people ask questions about mantras. When the moment came to create, Devi gives Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, go forth now. We have conversed for some time. Go and begin my work. Go and begin creation. Brahma says, Mother, I still don't know how. May you give me a prayer. May you please give me a prayer that would enable me to do your bidding in the most fitting, in the most correct, in the most able way. Please allow this to happen. Listening to the words of Brahma, the mother wants to give. She says to Brahma, oh Brahma, from now on, call on me with that nine syllable mantra. In all our texts, mantras are weighed on how many syllables they have. In Garud Puran, you will hear about the 12 syllable mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or the 8 syllable mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. Devi is saying here, please use the 9 syllable mantra. Say Om, Om, Hring, Shring, Chandika, Divyai, Nama. If you use this mantra, the work a person has to accomplish, they will be able to overcome all impediments, all forms of hindrance. O Brahma, even you would be able to benefit from this. In fact, today, because of your humility, I would like to give to you this individual, this person that will be your companion. Her name is Saraswati. Last night when we were talking about the Mahisasur event where Durga, she takes form, Brahma already has a consort. Lord Vishnu already has a consort. When did that joining of these individuals occur? At this moment, when they're about to recreate the universe. Mother says, I give from the female attendants that are around me, I give you your better half. O Mahavishnu, may you take Kamala Devi, Lakshmi Devi, and go. And may you always be together. May she always be your source of happiness. O Ishwar, O Lord of what will become Kailash Parvat, may you have Gauri Mata. Gauri Mata, when she's upset, when she's in a different mode, becomes Kali Mata. This is why when Kali Mata, you know that famous picture where she's standing her foot on his chest? When she becomes, as it were, to use a word that for children to understand, when she becomes overwhelmed, when she becomes taken away, when she becomes carried away with the energy, with the negative and what is happening, Lord Shiva is the one who goes to help control her, calm her down. In every episode between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, there are many instances as he plays the part of husband where he has to help bring her back, cool her down. In fact, there's a discourse where Mother goes from Gauri Mata, Gauri meaning very beautiful, very pretty, nice attributes. She takes Kalika form and Lord Shiva says, please go back to Gauri Mata. I don't like this form too much. And in that discourse, Kali Mata lectures the Lord Shiva. A lady's body is always in transition. The way she looks before puberty, the way she looks after puberty, the way she looks before pregnancy, after pregnancy, the way she looks menopause time, she's always changing. Know what you got married to, Shiv Baba. A woman is always changing. Then when you hear men say that, you're not the person I got married to physically, then you're being cruel, you're being without justice, without any form of fairness, because this is who the lady is. Further, there are examples where, do you know, when Baba is doing puja, notice they take out little katura prasad. Many people don't know about Shiv Nirmalayam. Shiv Nirmalayam is because of Shrap Parvati Mata gives to Lord Shiva. We as devotees are not to eat the jutta of the lingam. Notice when people offer things on the lingam, it's not shared. But when we offer prasad by Tulsi Mata, Chausat Yogni, Shaligram, it goes back to the kitchen. This Parvati and Shiva have a wonderful dynamic that shows us that even marriage, truthfully, not all the days are going to be sweet. But even in those days that are rocky, we can work it out. Prem Savalo Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. And Devi says, I give these Devis to you, these Shakti, these forms that will help you, that will mold you and assist you in all your jobs. Oh Vishnu, every time you have to descend upon the earth, if you are not supported by the unseen energy, myself, or by Lakshmi Ma, you will not be successful. If you have the darshan of the support of your consort, then you will be successful. Please remember that. I am going to make something called the Yagna. The Yagna is the sacrifice, as I said last night. The puja, the fasting, the offering into the Havan that will give all of you energy. Please remember this. When this prayer is propagated, then everyone will be able to do and to get the positivity that they are looking for. Because of the worship, because of the good karma they are exerting, they will get that blessing that they are looking for. Let it be known, O Lord Vishnu, O Shiv Baba, that you and Shiva and Brahma are one. All come from the same place. But O Vishnu, because you have a sattvic gun, a calm gun, honesty, he is the one we call Satyanarayan. He is the one who begs Lord Shiva. When he takes Bhairav form and Brahma's head is cut off, decapitated, he says, please, O Mahadev, that Brahma spoke untruth and today you're punishing him. Please, please spare him. Forgive him. We were now quarreling. Who is more powerful? Last night we heard Brahma is sitting on a lotus that grows from the navel, the body of Lord Vishnu. So one was saying, I'm the creator, you're the son. And the person lying on Sheshnag says, but you're growing from my body. You are coming from me. I have to be your father. You are my son. And they were going at it like this. And it got too far. And even when now punishment, the end of the story had reached, and they were about to destroy Brahma. You're a Hindu. Answer me this question. I know about Shiv Puja. I know what the Shiv Parsad is. I know what the flag looks like. I've heard of many Shiv temples. I know what Vishnu Puja is. I know what the flag looks like. I've heard of many Vishnu or Krishna or Ram temple. For example, what is the Parsad for Brahma? What is the color of his flag? You're the Hindu. If somebody asks you this, what will you say? And the answer to that question is, when they were begging, when Lord Vishnu was on his knees, please see it in your mind, and he's begging, please spare him. We need him to make the sunrise. He has a job to do. He made a very crazy mistake by lying, dear God. But forgive him. Shiv Baba, you know, when we are reading Gita and we are going into depth, we talk about the gunas, tamasic. Lord Shiva is always ready. He is ready to destroy. He's in that tamogun. Brahma is rajasic. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not good. In this moment, he plays the part of not so good. So they tell him, Lord Shiva says, because of your position, you're the Holy Trinity, you're very highly placed. And you tell untruth, from today, nobody is going to do your puja. For this reason, we do Shiv Puja, Vishnu Puja, Lingam and Shaligram compulsory in every puja. But no Brahma Puja. He's Rajasic. He's sometimes stable, positive, and sometimes he makes mistakes. But Lord Vishnu now never fails. Even in this moment, because he's talking truthfulness, because he's forgiven, he didn't hold a grudge because they were fighting. We call him Satya Narayan. Satya Narayan means Narayan, God. Satya meaning truthfulness, truth. Lord Shiva says, in the age of Kali Yuga, when people's lifespan are very short, when people cannot or will not or wish not to do yagya and do the sacrifice the way Devi is describing, if they do Satya Narayan Puja, they would be able to get a lot of merit, a lot of blessings, a lot of help. This is why our people traditionally would do what we call katha on a Saturday morning, Rota and Katha, Satyanarayana Vrat and Katha, the story of Lord Vishnu. Prem se bolo Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. All of you are the same. What is made, what is inside of you, at the atomic level, you are the same. You are the same energy that is coming from me, your mother. But because of your nature, O Vishnu, you will always be a little more prominent, because you represent sattvic nature and sattvic thought. They bow to her and they accept everything that she has to say. The three of them are standing with their devis, and she gives them instruction, go Shiv Baba and build Kailash on the Himalayan mountain. Go Brahmdev on Mount Sumeru, on that high region. Go and build Brahmlok. And above these two places, let Vaikunt, the home of Lord Vishnu, a little higher, let him build his place there. In our text, when they are formulating how to create, as we are on the topic of creation, the earth is liquid. The earth is made of water on the surface, and in the inner layers, the hard core, it is believed that the bone marrow of Madhu and Kaitab, those two demons we talked about last night, those things went to help make the solid crust that we talk about in our planet. To this depth, to this detail, we have it in our text. And the earth is called by different names. And she says, when you make the earth with its various layers, make mountains to help make the land solid, and live upon those mountains. Sometimes children think that the concept that God lives on Kailash, many people visit India and they wish to go, if you're lucky to go, if you have the health to withstand the rigor. It's a great thing to see. It's a great thing to experience. Is it only in our religion? In the Greek belief with the Mount Olympus, and the Christian with Mount Sinai, it is there that God lived on the mountain. And in our case, it's no different. Prem Sabolo Mahapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. After listening to all about creation and energy and formation of energy, there comes a question about this prayer that Mother had created. Jan Bijay listens to at length an explanation about Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic, similar to what we find in Bhagavad Gita, about the good, the not so good, and the very bad in all of us. The need to control. Let's hear, as we enter now, what is the question that is about to be posed. Guruji, after explaining Sattvic and Rajasic and Tamasic at great length, to just give you a snippet, he says that even in grains, there is Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic grains. Why am I talking about the grains? Because we use it in puja. For example, rice. When we give gifts of grain like in the Siddha. In a little bit you're going to hear how when people do prayer, how sometimes it feels as if the prayer doesn't work. But if I were to ask you tonight, I know when I have puja, I have a kalsa, a parai, sometimes a coconut or a diya is lighted. What is the type of rice that has to go in the parai? Baba, white rice. Baba, brown rice. Did you ever ask why we just make a big fuss about white rice? Growing up, as a child, I swore white rice was better because everybody used to be washing the rice. Hold on, Babs. We coming now. We wash the rice and I dry it. Coming. What's the difference between white rice and brown rice? To put one thing to rest, because our Hindu people are very confused about this Omkara. White rice, chemically treated rice. it is more processed to give that white, brittle texture and color. The brown rice has more nutrition, more nutritional value in it. So the brown actually has more benefit. If arguably, if I give something that has nutritional value, benefit, I will yield more healthy something. But why put the rice? Please remember this. Sattvic grains are grains that do not fall apart, that are fertile. They have the ability to grow. This is sattvic grains. For example, dhan. The rice with the paddy, the shell, fully intact. When you put it there, that fertility, that prosperity, it is a symbol of Lakshmi Mata. The Diya light, or the energy, or the life contained inside the coconut, sitting on this bed of fertility. This is why when people are getting married and they're walking around the bedi, we are throwing popped rice in the fire. Dear God, we are now married. Please bless us with that fertility. We are giving good grains so that we will get good children. Rajasic grain, let's just say something like lentil, brown lentil. There are different types. Brown lentil is an example of a grain. When you wet it, it starts to shell away. Some will grow, some may not grow. Tamasic grains, for example, dal. Last night we had samba dal to eat with Saijan. That grain, you could plant it now, and just as we are talking about reincarnation, you could come back, and that grain will never grow. It has no fertility, it has no prosperity. So giving it is good. I'm giving somebody something to eat. But the inert quality of the gift is very barren. It does not have that benefit, that energy, that Shakti. So he explained at length from the clothes, the flowers. The flowers, would you believe there's sattvic flowers and tamasic flowers? Yes. In everything, there's a quality. And he described it. And then he says, "Oh Janbijay, you are my shishya, you are my chelha, and my best advice. You know what? Your father insulted his guru." You know, last night I said how Janbijay is sitting where he is. Why is he listening to this yagya? Parikshit, his father, had one day an important mission, and he wants to talk to his guru very quickly. Guruji is doing jap and he's not coming out of that trance. And long story short, Parikshit plays a prank, causing the guru to die. Guruji pronounces, the son pronounces a curse that, you know, in a certain amount of days you're going to be bitten by a snake and die. For causing that pain to the guru, the Pundit, the praying person. Your father's soul is burning, Janbijay. He died by the venomous bite of a snake. He did not die with Ganga Jal in his mouth. He did not die by ingesting prasad, or like the policeman or the army that is fighting for a righteous cause. He did not die in the pursuit of goodness. He died like a coward, running from an animal. And for this reason, this is another sign. It is indicative of a painful existence after death. He's being punished. All these reasons and more, oh Janbijay, go and do prayer and ask God to help uplift your father. The son starts to cry. And he says, my father is burning in Narak, in hell. He's in trouble. And this is where the question comes. He says, Guruji, you mentioned Devi Mata talked about she's going to create Yagya. Could you please tell to me how, what about this Yagya? Who did the Yagya? The rules some of the examples, and if you explain it properly for me, Guruji, then I am going to do this type of yagna. Please show me by examples of how to do and what not to do, so that I could develop and grow from this type of teaching. He says, please listen. There are different types of yagna that yield different type of reward. He says there are many people that will be knowledgeable. There are different books about that will teach about the mantras, the colors of the flag, the size, the dimension of the bedi, the altar. He says people follow these rules to the T. We all know how a flag looks, how a bamboo looks, how the parasat is. We know about these things, so we follow the recipes. We follow the dress codes, God willing, to the T. But still Shishya, still Janbijay. Even when we do these things, there's differences in outcome. Please understand, there is Sattvic Yag, Rajas Yag, Tamasic Yag. Please understand that when people get together and they chant mantras that are given in the Ved, when a knowledgeable Guruji, a Pundit that has the knowledge, that is wearing the Janeu, chanting the Gayatri, the person is capable. And this person is installed to guide. This is an example of Sattvic Yagya. When people have the material to offer in the prayer that is earned righteously, those offerings that are made, those offerings are Sattvic in nature. Imagine a thief to a neighbor Putigal, but are coming to offer it to Shiv Baba, Krishna Arpan. Would it yield the same? Would it give you the same benefit? And here he's saying, no. Rajas Yag, if the articles are not rightfully earned, if all you are looking for is fame, if you are not interested in the teachings, if you are not interested in the worship, how it go. But it only in your mind. Maybe the person, maybe the Pundit might, you're doing it wrong, please do it correct. But inside of you, there is no inner desire to do the best praise. How it fall? We don't have Gobar Babs, we will use the Hardi. It don't matter. I bought fruits, but I bought those fruits that have no seed. Those seeds that are fertile, that could yield something. You know what Babs we go use now, wherever it have, how it they. That type of dokye is Rajas Yag. It is a sacrifice. The prayers is happening, the flag is going up, Parasad is sharing, but my attitude is different. Tamasic prayer. This is where you are doing the yagya only to get the attention of other people. Where the person who is teaching you, you do not repay that act. If it is the dollar in the tarrier, if it is a gift, somebody came with a wonderful pear this morning and said, Babs, last night I really enjoyed your discourse. I know you're fasting today. Please have a fruit. Some form of gratitude. No gratitude is given. Then this type of yag is called tamasic. Worst type of prayer. However, the material, the appearance, the outlook could be the same. And for many people, this is what catches people. Because you think the Pundit is going to make the difference. If the Parasad, somebody told me, if the Parasad has no, how you call the suji powder, cream of wheat, God loves that one more. God only like, tell me what you think about this one. Mohan Bhog, the Bhog, the food of Mohan, Krishna, the dark form. When the Parasad patch, he will like it more because it's darker. People put all types of meaning and trivial explanations. But when you are only doing the prayer for some type of fame, some type of to show people, you know, for example, for people to understand very clear, I live across the road. I saw my neighbor here do Pitri Puja, Pitri Paksh, finished the other day. So you know what? I want to do that to compete with them, to show them I could do it too. This is Tamasic type prayer. When Jan Bijay is trying to assimilate this, he's trying to understand what Guruji is talking about. Because as far as he knows, you call your Baba, you have your ingredients set out, you have your prasad made in a very sterile, in a very clean way. Prayers is prayers. What Guruji talking about now? This is going to a deeper point. So he says, could you illustrate, could you show me, tell me about somebody who did yag and they did not do it correct and what happened? He says, please listen to the story of the Pandavas. You know, these people were very popular, very well-to-do. They had the blessings to be the friend of God. So Janbi Jai is bewildered. He says, the Pandavas are my grandparents. Parikshit, they are my elders. Parikshit is my father, and older than him are the Pandavas. What are you talking about? How could you say they are an example of Tamasic? They practice Tamasic prayers? Krishna drove the car for Arjuna. They were best friends with God. How could you say such a thing? He says, son, please listen. When Duryodhana, their cousin, had done a great Raatri Yagna, Yudhisthira within his mind, different things make a person wish to have prayer. And within his mind, he does not wish to do the yagya to worship God, to worship the land, to give thanks to God. He wants to do yagya to show that his cousin, I am a bigger king, I am a greater individual, I have more money, I have a better ability to do yagya than you. This is his reasoning to set date for this prayer. He says, if, O son, blessed are your relatives, but if it was done properly, then they would have been spared some of the troubles that they would have been experiencing just after the yagya. He says, please understand, 3 months after Yudhisthira had done this great, wonderful, very indescribable yagna in terms of the decoration, the food, the way he paid all those gurus that had come. Everything is noteworthy. The amount of dancers and musicians and all these things, every ingredient in the prayer was in surplus. But still, 3 months after, think about the story of Draupadi being raped or attempted to be raped in the hall. Think about how corrupted the mind of Yudhisthira became when he became addicted to the gambling match with the dice. Look at how they had to go and leave all their comfort, the palace, the money, and go and live and hide in the forest. He says, Yudhisthira did not understand why. Why are these bad things happening? He says they had to become slaves. These great brothers were kings, stalwarts. One day had to become cooks and washermen in other people's home, as per the request of their cousin after they had lost the match. Why would this happen? Prem se bolo Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. There's a question that says, if Krishna is my best friend, why did Krishna allow Yudhisthira to go and gamble? And the answer is this: in Mahabharata it says that Krishna told him, never gamble, son. Don't do it. Don't go near it. Don't go when your cousins are calling you to play. You get up from that meeting and you don't sit there. Don't entertain that gambling at all. It will mash up your life. It will mash up your kingdom. It will mash up your family. Don't do it. But when Yudhisthira is enticed, when he's given the invitation, come cousin, come to our home and let us play dice, gamble. And he says, yes, I accept the invitation. Krishna says, I warned you, but you did not listen. Who don't listen will feel. And Krishna is absent from that moment. He makes sure he doesn't go. For those that have heard the discourse, he leaves Yudhisthira to fall. Guruji says, knowing this, that Krishna allowed him to get that pain, to see what is going on with Draupadi. He says, do you understand that when Draupadi is being stripped and dragged by her hair, she did not even want to come into the hall because she was unclean at that time. And she is now being stripped of her clothes, although she is in this moment in her month. She is very ashamed, and not one of the husband could get up. Not one of them was able or in a position to help. Oh son, what could cause great people like this to fall so fast, so hard? Is it fate? If it is fate, then something is wrong with the yagna they did. Because a person will have in their horoscope, however you want to refer to it, patra, in their fate, in their destiny, good and bad. But when a person goes to pray, oh son, oh Jan Vijay, we pray, dear God, now Raatri come, I have my dar, and I'm going to offer you this dar this morning. Please protect me from the bandit. There are so many bandits now. Sometimes you own the house, you own the car, you own nothing in the kitchen, and the bandits still coming. Please protect me and shield me from seen and unseen danger as I offer grains, the dan, the different things in the lota. Let that goodness, let that energy come to me the day I need you most. A simple example of a sacrifice, an offering. Imagine we are doing all this here. He says, if a person does prayer, they do yagna, they do sacrifice to change their destiny, then something went wrong with them. Something went haywire with their prayer. And he says, oh Jan Vijay, please, arguably the first thing you'll say is maybe the mantras were said wrong. And if the mantras are said wrong, if they are pronounced incorrectly, and there's a listed example of where the Pundit in one prayer, Vishwarupa, he wanted the demons for once to win the angels, the devatas. So what he did was, when the devatas were praying, he says, make up mantras. But when the one he likes, the unrighteous, when they come to offer, he's saying proper mantra. So when it is done properly, you're going to get proper results. For young children here, imagine I'm going to bake a cake and I didn't mix the cake properly. I didn't follow the instructions. But when we want to see the cake coming out of the oven, why is it looking the way it looked? I did not do it properly. The mantras are very important. He says, oh son, therefore you select a person that will lead you in prayer, that is capable, that is honest, that will lead you down the righteous path to the fullest of her or his ability. Prem se bolo Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. defective gifts that are offered in prayer, seeds that will not grow, flowers that have no fragrance, inappropriate offerings. Do you know that there are some people that will jutta the parsad and then want to offer it? That affects the quality of the gift that you're giving to God. He says when these type of defective gifts are given, who would know if you jutta the parsad? Nobody, except for God. He says when these types of gifts are given, it affects the outcome of the prayer. He says when a person omits, imagine I'm offering the prayer and I offer the parsad, and I have the parsad in my hand, but I didn't bother to put it tulsi leaf. Don't worry, next time. Sweet eye Pundit. Let's go. Time going. I sit in here long. Don't worry about the tulsi leaf, you need that. I'll offer it just like that. God will understand. He says when people omit things, it affects the outcome of their prayer. Imperfection. When people are healthy, able and apt, and they choose. Have you ever heard somebody say, Pundit, God is coming for what is in my heart and not what is in my stomach? I'll eat dog yesterday, and I'll want to do the fullest of Yagna and Puja today. I have not prepared myself properly. I am imperfect. He says when people do these types of acts, O Jan Bijay, it is going to affect the prayer. And sometimes, Pundits do say, sometimes you end up with more problems than you started off with. For this reason, when you are doing the prayer, do the prayer to your best. He says when people do yagya and they do it to the best of their ability, look at Dashrath, the person who could not have children. He says when he goes and he prays, he gets exactly what he wants, children. Prem se bolo, Adi Shakti Mata ki jai. He says if sacrifice, if offerings are done according to rules and regulation, it yields the fruits that you're looking for. But if done haphazardly, if done without care, without consideration to follow cleanliness, do you know as Pundits we have to tell people don't forget to bathe before you do the prayers? That sounds funny. That reeling. You would be amazed the kind of conversation we as Pundits have. Pundit, don't worry now, I get up 5 o'clock this morning and I bathe. But then you went and you make your parsad, for example. Let me be practical. And with the heat, I sweat down. Maybe you should go back and bathe now, boy. No, perhaps I good. Yeah, good. He says when people do things like this, it causes downfall. It causes trouble for the family. Not only the person, but their family. Via what? The loss of your barakat. Your barakat is what gives you the luster. It gives you your financial security, your health, their happiness. Talk to anybody. I'm sure some people know somebody with this problem. Have you ever heard that when some people walk through the door, as they walk in and the nagging and the quarreling and all the janjat start, it's best they walk right back out. There are people that live in such circumstances that they would work overtime. They would stay out just to limit how much time they have in the house. And by the grace of Mother and God, some people can't wait to reach home. Because my home has so much of love. My children at home happy, playing. My wife is smiling. My husband is trusting. And when I get home, I am received. When a person doesn't have that, then you have lost your barakat. If you think barakat is only money, what is the good of money when you don't have your health? What is the good of money if the money is ready to just play the divorce lawyer as we fight in court? When the person does the prayer big or small. It does not talk about how many people in the audience or anything like that in terms of numbers. But if your attitude is right, then you will have undescribable happiness, health, barakat. Lakshmi Mata will live in your home. And one of the main ingredients in any prayer, O Jan Bijay, is faith. In our way, in our language, we call that Shraddha. But faith, simply that I believe in what I am doing. Not to jump helter skelter as bad things sometimes happen in all our lives. Mother says to Brahma in the earlier pages, go create the universe, create everybody, and create them based on their karma. So when God is creating, He says, because of your karma, you are supposed to lose all the hair in your head. Okay, I'll make you bald after a certain age. You are not supposed to have children. I will make you barren. I will make you in such a way you can't get married because of your karma. When bad things happen to good people, this is where we buckle down and we do prayer to change that karma. This is, if anybody were to ask you, why do you do prayers? Why do you put up flag? Why are you doing all this? Simply put, I am experiencing bad times, hard times, hopeless times, and I am doing my worship. I am gifting God all types of flowers, leaves, different things that are prescribed for God, so that I will get the positive change. How I give is so I get. I'll get that positive change, and maybe I'll get healthy. Maybe I will get happy. Maybe I'll stop having family problems, etc. This prayer, this yagna, now becomes a tool to save your life when you have trouble. When a parent came when we were doing the Pitri Puja for this yagna, and he talks about how his daughter, in the privacy of her bedroom, took 50 different powerful, strong pain tablets with the intention to kill herself. By the help of doctor and the grace of God, they saved the child's life. The parent now, put yourself in that parent's shoes. You know what's the problem now? There was no argument in my home. There was no quarrel in my home. She rubbed she father's foot after she take the tablet, knowing she's slowly dying in that moment, and she's still massaging daddy's foot with a smile. Could you imagine the heart of that father when they walk into the bedroom 5, 6 in the morning, when the house now waking up and everything is going, and his daughter is lying with the head on the ground, foot on the bed, throat coming out from the mouth and beating like a leaf. Father gets frightened, runs to the hospital, he does all that he could do, and then he comes to talk to me and he says, Pundit, you know what my fear is? You know what's going on with me? Suppose tomorrow she does it. Suppose the day after she wants to do it. Suppose tonight she wants to kill herself. There's no reason, there's no quarrel, there's no, I don't hit my children. But in her mind, this is what she has to do. What do you tell a parent like that? If you ever come across anybody in that situation, the only thing that could help is prayer. Believe it or not, even for suicidal cases, there is prayer to help that God. Saraswati Mata lives here, and last time we were singing for Saraswati Devi. Saraswati in Buddhi form, intellect form, help the person's mindset to change. The alcoholic, the addict, there is prayer to help the person put down the bottle. Stop taking drugs. Stop cheating. The person who cannot, he cannot help but lie. His mouth is helpless. Break those habits. There's prayers, offerings that could be made to help such people. Principal Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. He says, you know who did the first Devi Yagna? Sri Hari Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is that individual who takes the moment. He seizes the opportunity and he wants to do sacrifice. He wants to do rituals. He uses the mantra Om, Hring, Shring, Chandika, Divyai Namah. That powerful mantra that they use, he is that individual that wants to do this type of prayer. Oh, Jan Vijay, please listen to the example of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu had returned to that space and had created Vaikuntha. Mahadev Baba had now created Kailash, and Brahma is living in Brahmlok together with their consort. As the creative process, and immediately as it is created, it must be maintained, else it would fall apart. Kashyap Muni and all the other sons of Brahma have propagated this earth, all the different forms of life, all the different type of Jeev Atma. Those things that are born from eggs, those that are born from the fluid between mother and father, those that are considered to be plants, those that fly, those that swim, those that have auspicious karma, those that have inauspicious karma, all of these things were created. And whilst Lord Vishnu now is reclined on Sheshnag, thinking of all that he has to maintain, the various cycles in the earth, the cycle of day and night, the passage of time, all these things is going through his mind. He remembers the day long ago now, where they first saw that Bhuvaneshwari Devi. And he thinks to himself, because we have now completed creation, because now we have succeeded in all our work, you know what? I would like to do some form. Jan Vijay, please look at his thinking. I would like to do some form of thanksgiving because I was able to overcome my challenge, my ignorance, and I was able to perform the task that was laid before me as Mother had asked me to maintain this universe. I wish to do her puja. I wish to listen to her discourse so that I would have her continued darshan and blessing. Lord Vishnu makes preparation as he speaks to Lakshmi Devi. Devi, I can't do this alone without your support. It would not be possible. Please take all your Sakhi, all your friends, all those helpers, all those attendants. Shiv Baba, bring all the gunners and ask them to gather together all the good material. Bring only the top of the doob grass. Bring the gobar as it is coming from the cow's body before it hits the earth. Bring the flowers that have sweet scent, Sattvic Nitya. Please bring these type of ingredients so that when we offer it to her, she will be more and more happy with us. Most happy with us. And they did just what he said. And when the puja was going on, his focus was, Mother, may you please be happy. Lord Vishnu leads by example. Sometimes Baba is saying mantras and people get distracted. But in that distraction, we forget to pray. He does. In that moment, he says, Mother, I hope you are happy. Mother, I hope you are happy with the leaves, the mala, the flowers, the prasad, the fruits. I hope you are enjoying everything that is laid out before you today. Please be happy with me. The last offering that I give you, dear Devi, after all the ingredients, all the prasad, everything is done, after all the singing and the arati is done, I offer myself. Please be happy with me. And from the Murti, she comes to life. She comes real. And she says to him, Oh Vishnu, I am so happy with your sattvic prayer, with your good nitya, your good heart, that I wish to appoint you the highest devta. When any gift is going to be given, let them call your name. For example, when people are given the 5 yard of cloth that we sometimes charhawi, the towel. Don't we say Krishna Arpanam? In His name I give it. With His name I bless the food or the prasad or whatsoever. How come we don't say Brahma Arpanam? Moments like this, because of the position she gives him, because she's so happy with his mode, his nature, his behavior, his prayerfulness. But not only that, you're doing the prayer, but for the right reason and in the right way. She says, in fact, yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bhutali. When there is decay and there is decline in religion, you will be the one to lead the fight. You will take incarnation and go and preserve the Dharma upon the earth. I appoint you as the person that will do this job. That yada yada is heard in Gita, but it ends differently. Mother is instructing him that whether you come as the tortoise, you come as the fish, you come as Krishna, you come as Ram, this is where it begins. Whenever it happens that you are requested to come upon the earth, Indra doesn't do that. Agni does not do that. Saraswati Mata does not do that. But Lord Vishnu does it because Mother is blessing him that you will have the power. And when you come upon the earth, for time immemorial, people will read Ramayana, people will read Gita, people will read Bhagavad. People will remember you, O Vishnu, because of your offerings today. Prem se bolo Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. O Madhusudana, when you go upon the earth, all my support will be there with you. All the other devatas will take avatar. They will take form to assist you. When Lord Vishnu takes the form of Sri Ram, the incarnation of Lord Shiva, that great Mandir Baba, part formation of Hanumanji. But Hanuman Baba does not lead, he follows the words of Sri Ram. In this way, there are many examples of how Lord Vishnu is leading, and everyone else has to follow in his footsteps. O Vishnu, when you show favor to someone, I will change that person's karam. I will grant that person happiness, prosperity in all my forms, in all my Sagun form, named Shakti form. We call you this name, we call you that name, we call you the other name. When you have a form, all those forms, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga, Kali, will go to help that individual. Having your favor, having your blessing will be a great asset. For doing this yagya in the way you have done it, may you become all the leader of all the devatas, and may you be appointed the one who is the caretaker of all the pitras. Why is it when we are doing Pitra Paksh offering, we're focusing on Lord Vishnu? Because of this moment, this is how we end up with Adiyama Pitra. She gives him that appointment. Prem se bolo Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki jai. Lord Vishnu was very happy that when he had finished his prayer, he had gotten the darshan, that upliftment, that blessing that he was praying for. Devi is with him. That Shakti, that unseen energy is there with him. So things are going to get brighter, things are going to get better. Tonight as I conclude, which side of the spectrum are you? Are you like the Devata, Lord Vishnu, doing prayer, receiving benefit, seeing goodness in your life? Or are you like the Pandavas, doing, but not seeing change? In fact, you're seeing trouble. Tonight as I conclude, this discourse leads into another question that we'll deal with tomorrow night. But search your soul and check yourself. Things are bad. Things are going from bad to worse in our country. In our circle, so much hurtful, harmful, destructive things happen. But some of it could be caused by our own selves. Some of it is due to our karma, not the karma of another individual. Please remember that. Whenever you think to yourself you've done enough, when problems still exist, you have not done enough. A good friend of mine says, well, if it was my karma for something to happen, then it's my karma. Many people say that. But then, if you are accepting your karma, why do we pray? This is my last point. Many people don't know. If you ask why, where is what the prayers for? Why is it that long time elders used to come and listen to the pujas? When the prayer is finished, I must have that little drop of milk in my hand, Baba. I must bow to my prasad, Baba. I must get my blessings, Baba. Why is there a fixation on blessings? Because I need to change my karma. I have ambition. I work hard. In my pocket, God, you have given to me through my karma. You've given to me $5. But every day I stand by my murti and I say, dear God, thank you for the $5. Make it 10 to dinner. Dear God, my karma is I'm supposed to be very sick. Please change my fate and make me very healthy. This is what prayer is, basically. I'm supposed to fail the exam. I don't like to pick up my book. Saraswati Mata, make magic. Make magic and help me to pass the exam. Prayer becomes a tool to change your existence, to change your karma. Nothing is cast in stone. It's there, but it is subject to change based on what you do. Therefore, do what you can with the time, with the life, with the energy, with the resources you have. You know, Pundit, I can't bring diamond and gold in the prayers. I agree, but you could bring flowers. You could bring tulsi. You could bring a diya. You could bring prasad. I have a fig tree growing in my yard. I might not know how to cook mahanbog, but I could bring a ripe fig for Durga Mata. Whatever I could do, as she says to Brahma in the beginning, come out of that laziness, shake it off, and get to work. In his case, she says, begin to create. You and I need to create good karma. We need to do more charity. We need to do more goodly and godly things so that we could stop experiencing bad things. When things are not going good, that is the time to pray more. Prem Sabolo Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Let's all stand. Final offering done. All right, let's all stand as we prepare to do final arti. As we are about to wave the light, please clasp your hands. Guruji is giving a blessing. Put your hands together. For the person who listens to the katha, the story of how Lord Vishnu did the first Devi Yagna, how he prayed, how he taught, how did he think. Blessed is the devotee tonight, that they must not fall in the trap the Pandavas fell for. May you always be blessed. May you be the best devotee, and may the karma allow you to have mukti, salvation. May you have that happiness now and after. Tonight, as we wave this light, time has run away again. For those of you at home, please consider what I have said. Change. Let's do positive change and do the prayer and get better results.